Yo, it's your boy AJ. I'm here with Rage. The Nets are interested in Damian Lillard. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about some draft talk. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We're now tuned in to Nets Kingdom.
Nets Kingdom.
To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it. Niggas just can't take
it. Yeah, man. We back, man. Sorry for all the people that, missed us and everything, but, it's off season. We've been
there hasn't been a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like it's all just finals. We're just waiting to see what happens with the other teams before we get to the off season. There hasn't been anything going on.
Facts. But let's talk about this. We got the news. I mean, Nets Twitter has all been talking about Dame for a long time.
We've been talking about Dame for a long time.
But so I'm gonna read real quick what the New York Post said, and then I'm gonna play the Brian Lewis clip of him talking about Damian Lillard and what his sources had told him. But it says, "Two sources told the Post that the Nets' interest in dealing for Damian Lillard is very real. The Trailblazers' apparent determination to keep the point guard and move their number 3 overall pick in next month's draft for a veteran to appease him sparked different rumors of swapping bridges for the selection. But the question is, would the Trailblazers trade Dame or go into the rebuild?" Now let's listen to what Brian Lewis said.
I actually have interest in getting back into the superstar business and bringing Damian Lillard to Brooklyn.
Well, I'd say maybe to the first and definitely yes to the second. I wouldn't say that they just have an interest in collecting stars or that they're willing to get a star for the sake of having one. What I'd say is it has to be the right star. Yes, I'm sure they're probably a little burned after the way the Big Three imploded so spectacularly. So they would have to make sure it's the right star with the right kind of mindset. But they do feel that Damian Lillard is the right kind of star with the right kind of mindset. So, yes, their interest in Damian Lillard is legitimate.
Okay, so the interest in Lillard is legitimate, which brings us to the next question. Does Brooklyn have enough to get Lillard, and what would the cost be to acquire the superstar point guard?
Again, that part remains to be seen, exactly what that kind of deal would cost. I mean, they do have 20 picks, I think 11 first rounders and 9 second rounders between now and 2029. So that's the 4th most draft capital in the league over those next, 6 years.
Man, he said a lot, man. He said a lot in that clip. What was your reaction to the more news of the Dame coming? Well, the Nets being interested in Dame. I think we're all going to have eyes on this draft because, well, to be specific, for Nets fans, I mean, I know I think there's something on Dame's contract that says that he's going to be, he can't get traded until I think July. I think there's a certain date, but it's either June or after. It's after the draft where he can't get traded until that certain date. But we're all going to be looking to see if the Blazers can either going to trade that pick or they're going to or help Dame. And I saw the NBA Central post that the Blazers are interested in McHale, they're interested in Pascal Siakam, they're interested in Jaylen Brown, but it's like, is that number 3 pick and Anthony Simmons and Shaedon Sharpe enough to get Jaylen Brown, Pascal, or McHale? It's like, no, you're gonna have to put in a whole lot more than that, I think, to get those type of players. I don't know if the teams are going to be willing to just give that up. But yeah, Ray, what was your reaction, man, to the Dame news?
Well, it shows that if Dame does get moved, it's most likely here. That's if he gets moved. Yeah. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be to the Nets. I wouldn't mind Damian Lillard. I don't really think any Nets fan, well, there's going to be some people, but if you're a Nets fan and you see Damian Lillard news, you're going to get a little bit of excitement if he comes here. And I would be too. It all just comes down to, if you get Damian Lillard, what are you giving up, and how are you going to make your team better after you acquire him? That's all it really comes down to. Because if you are able to, well, it really just comes down to who can you surround him with? Because we all know that Damian Lillard, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, that's not going to get it done. That's not going to lead you to to a championship.
Yeah.
And another problem is how much Damian Lillard is going to make.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you're already going to be down. You're already going to be down bad in terms of the salary cap. So if you get Damian Lillard, you would just have to say, "F it, we're going to go all in."
Yeah.
Because if you get Damian Lillard, you have to just be okay with being over the salary cap and getting as good as you can.
Yeah, because if we keep Dame as it's in, we're gonna have to give somebody up to get Dame. I mean, we're gonna have to give a boat. Well, you heard Brian Lewis. We have the fourth most draft capital in the NBA, so we're gonna have to give up at least 4 first rounds. And then you're gonna have to choose. They're probably gonna want Cam Thomas. They might ask for Claxton, and if the Nets say no to that, they're gonna have to give up either Ben, Joe Harris, DFS.
They're gonna have to give up Ben Simmons
Ben
for the simple
Simmons.
fact of how much he's making. Unless like Ben Simmons will play a big part into like a Damian Lillard trade.
Yeah.
Unless you attach, like you said, like Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris. But if I'm the Portland Trailblazers, I don't want Joe Harris.
No, I want the young players and I want picks. If I'm in my rebuild.
I want Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons with the hope that he does come back to what he was, and you get like a boatload of picks. Because if you think about it, like if the Portland's in a way better situation of rebuilding than they would be with Damian Lillard, because I don't think no matter what they do, they won't win a championship with him if they so happen to keep him. But if you look at if they rebuild, you would have Scoot Henderson most likely. You would have all of that, all of what you got back, all of those picks, and you still have Sharp. You still have Anthony Simons. You still have Nurkic. You still have Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
You still have all of those guys. So it's like you'd probably be in a better situation if you did trade it. But if they're firm on keeping Damian Lillard, then you know what position we're going to take. Because if we don't get Damian Lillard, we're not going to get another star. It's not. We're not going to. There's not. We don't have an ultimatum. It's either Damian Lillard or you keep with what you have. There's not anyone else that's on his level.
Yeah,
that's available.
I don't think we can make a move for anybody else. I think like the trade. I think the Jaylen Brown situation is probably he's not coming here. We already know,
and it won't be this year. And we already know what's going on with him and Joe's side.
The Trae Young rumors. I think the Trae Young rumors kind of died down. I think Atlanta wants to build around him because they just seen what he did in the playoffs, and they're like,
and Jaylen Brown. And I don't know what you think, but you can see like if you give Jaylen Brown the bag. Are you willing to pay him $60 million? No, probably not.
I mean, the Celtics might, but it's like I don't know. Yeah.
That might be because they feel they have to, and they keep to keep Tatum and their team good.
Isn't that like $600 million for both of them or something? Like the Supermax, both of them.
Who would you rather pay more money? I know Jaylen Brown's younger, but
that's tight. That's tough, man. That's tough. I mean, I guess. I might have to do Tatum. Oh, I don't know. Tatum was kind of a fraud alert. Both of them are on fraud watch right now. Don't ask me that question right now, bro. Both of them is on fraud.
I was asking, who would you rather pay, Dame or Jaylen Brown?
Oh, Dame or Jaylen Brown? Okay, I thought you were talking about Tatum or Brown. My fault. Dame or Jaylen Brown? I'd rather pay Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dame is one of the most clutch players we've ever seen, and he's elite in the playoffs.
Jaylen Brown continues to disappear.
I can count on Dame. I really count. Everybody, you can definitely count on Dame, man. But
the Heat's goal was to let Jaylen Brown dribble.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. Dame he's gonna cook in the playoffs. Cook in the playoffs. But yeah, so that's a little talk on Dame. We'll see what the Nets do, man. I mean, we got you heard Brian Lewis. We got the draft picks. It's just about who you're gonna give up. Who do the Blazers want? I mean, if you give up Ben, you're gonna have to attach a more, maybe sweeten the deal with more picks, but you're giving a whole lot for Dame, and we'll see, man. We'll see what they do. But going into the NBA draft, bro. So let's talk about the other side of it. If the Nets just stay how they are, what you were saying this before the stream, the role players, right? The Nets need more stronger bench, need stronger role players. So it's like, Do we draft? Are these guys going to play? Are we going to develop them? If we don't get Dame, we're just going to keep it. We're going to run it back. But running this team back without any type of free agents or role players, it's like we're a playing team, no? Or
I don't even know. Like
we're like a 7, 8 seed. I think if you run this team back with no changes, I think we're like a 7, 8 seed.
But who knows who if you get Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons somehow magically transforms into what he once was.
Oh,
who knows? I think this team is way better.
Yeah.
And you also have to be interested to see like what Cam Thomas looks like. But which also brings me to another point. Say you want to draft this year, right?
Yeah.
We just drafted 5 players 2 years ago, and none of them really play for us. There's already 3 guys that we drafted that one isn't on the team, and 2 don't play for us.
Yeah.
And 2 of them get very inconsistent minutes. One being Daron Sharp, and the other being Cam Thomas. We've seen what Cam Thomas can do, but did he see minutes in the playoffs? Did he really see any time in the second part of the season? No.
Yeah, that's the tough part about it, because I think we need to prepare for the future. So I think we do need to draft. And I told you about this. The CBA is going to force teams to build organically. That's what they're doing in this league now. They're forcing teams to build organically. The superstar era is over. There's no more three stars, 4 stars. There's no more super teams no more. It's basically you're going to build through the draft, and you're trying to keep your finances low. That's why there's going to be so much movement in the offseason, because teams are going to try to fix their finances, move pieces, get below the cap because of all the penalties they're going to put on you if you're over that salary cap. So it's like, I think we need to draft. And I'm going to talk about my first guy. He's really my number 1 prospect, man. Jalen Hood-Schifino. And make sure y'all watch that video I just did on Jalen Hood-Schifino. 6'6" point guard from Indiana. Great defender, smooth handle, smooth mechanic jump shot. He's shaky from 3, but his midi is elite. And I just think, like I said in the video, this is Spencer's last year, right? This is Spencer Dinwiddie's last year coming up. I don't think the Nets are going to resign him. I don't think the Nets are going to pay Spencer $20 million plus again, or give him a 4-year, whatever he's eligible for. I think that's out the window. And then you don't know about Ben. If Ben comes out and he's trash again, we're going to be done up. We're going to be finished because we have no point guard. You know what I'm saying?
And we still have Cam Thomas sitting there. Who even knows if we really are able to ever see Cam Thomas really play for us like that ever? Like, we know what he's capable of, but we also know what our team is capable of, and not playing him.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to play him, Cam Thomas isn't going to want to stick around and not play.
Yeah.
He isn't.
So, and if we get Jalen Hood, like say, because there's 1,000 mock drafts that said Jalen Hood's about to be drafted 21, 22. And if we get Jalen Hood, even if both scenarios, even if Ben comes back and he's amazing and Spencer plays good in his last year of his deal, you still take that deal because Spencer's going to be gone the next year, and you can just have Jalen as a backup. You have your point guard for the future.
And he's instantly going to be thrown in a backup role because Jalen, you can't instantly just start. You can't instantly just start him on a team like ours and expect it to work. You have to build up and have to give him time. Yeah. We're still not a team to where we're not a team that is rebuilding. We're not a team that
we don't have
we're not a team. We're not a 20-win team. We're not a team that we're going into the season knowing that we're not going to make the play-in. Yeah. We have quite a bit of veterans on this team. These rookies aren't going to be able to go into our team and have the ability or be able to play over anyone. They just don't. The rookies aren't going to be able to play over Spencer Dinwiddie or Cam Johnson or Dorian or any of these veterans that we have, because these guys are veterans and these rookies aren't.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. Then my next guy I got on my list is these are my 2 top prospects, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and I like Derek Lively. I mean, I'm gonna put Leonard Miller in that conversation. I guess I'll say those are my top 3 right now that I want the Nets to draft. If any of those guys are available at 21 or 22, my pick would be Jalen Hood first, and then Leonard Miller. And if Leonard Miller is gone, I'm taking Derek Lively. Now, this pro day, Derek Lively is. Let me read what people were saying in Twitter, because He is 7'1". He averaged 2 blocks per game. Went to Duke. Rim protector. He's a lob threat. He's like that traditional kind of center. But he made 14 straight threes at pro day, and now people think he could shoot. People think, oh wait, he's a shooter. He might be able. He might be. We could transform that. We might be able to transform that.
But we've seen Nick Claxton shoot.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't see him shooting in the game.
I can't really use this as a sample because it's like he's in an open gym, nobody's guarding him, and he's just catching and shooting. It's like I can't really analyze it.
Every kid in high school is just shooting threes, like just for fun in the open. Like no one,
Yeah.
Anyone can shoot. Anyone can shoot threes in an open gym.
Yeah, I'll take. I said I'll draft him because he's 7'1", athletic. He can rim protect, and he has the potential to maybe be a shooter. But it's like we don't know if he can shoot. Let me read this. He says, when Lively had to shoot without his feet already set against defenders, he was 2 for 13 behind the arc. A better indicator is his inability to stretch the floor at this stage of his career. Also struggled at the free throw line, 60%. He's a rim protector, but raw offensively. So that's what I think. Somebody, a reporter, said that in the comments. So that's the thing with Derek Lively. Like he's center. We need a backup center. I mean, do you trust Dayron? Are we going to see Dayron?
Man, we're about. I don't think Dayron is going to be on this team for
even with
longer.
Dayron. We need a third center because if somebody gets hurt, we need. Or God forbid, Claxton gets hurt or Dayron gets hurt.
We had the luxury of Nick Claxton not getting hurt this year.
Yeah,
at all.
Exactly.
Like we were very, very lucky. But we shouldn't be in a position to where we have to depend on Nick Claxton, and without him, nothing works.
Yeah.
And we don't have a center. You should never be in that situation.
Yeah.
You have to. You're gonna have to draft a big in the first round.
Yeah.
You have to.
The question is, would you rather? You were telling me about this just before we get out of here about Leonard Miller, bro. Would you take? We don't want Jalen Hood-Schifino, but that second pick, Leonard Miller, Derek Lively. If both of them are there, who are you choosing? Because I know some Nets fans want to go 7'1" center, and then you think about Leonard Miller, 6'10", can switch 1 through 4. He can't really. His mechanics are bad. His shot is kind of bad, but it's there. Is there to develop, and then everything else is beautiful. His defense, his rebounding, he can score, he can go to the rim. Who are you taking, bro?
Well, I think I'd take Leonard Miller for the simple fact that he fits more in the NBA than I think a Lively would.
Mm-hmm.
Just for our sake. He's very, 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 very insane defensively.
Yeah.
And if you can get the shot right, that's it. And he's way, way better offensively than Derek Lively is.
Yeah.
That's something that's a 4 right there. You can pair him with Claxton.
Yeah.
You could. If Leonard Miller is able to, get that jump shot, we'll be fine. Yeah. I don't know how Lively is gonna look, especially when we already have Claxton. Are you gonna pair him and Claxton up? What does that look like?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, with Leonard Miller, he's 6'10". A pairing of Nick Claxton and Leonard Miller is just better to me than a pairing of Lively and Claxton. That's just me. But if Lively's there, I'll take Lively. I'm just on the fact that you have to draft a big in this draft. You have to draft a guard and you have to draft a big. Yeah. That's it. And then when you get in the second round, obviously, like we've been talking about, Imani Bates.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously you got in the first round, you have to pick a big and a point guard. Yeah. That's it. That's what you're gonna have to do in the first round. The second round, I don't really care.
Yeah,
but
my dream draft would be Jalen Hood and Leonard, or Jalen Hood and Derek Lively. Those two, like I said, that would be a perfect situation if we got those two players. But again, I'm choosing Leonard also over Derek Lively because of exactly what you just said. He's a stretch 4, 6'10". He can pack on weight eventually. He's only 19, and then if he packs on weight and gets his jump shot right, he's perfect for the modern NBA because he can switch 1 through 4, 1 through 5. If he gets stronger, he might be able to guard centers. So it's like it's perfect for the modern NBA. But make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. I know this was a long one, but we haven't been back in a while. Tune into nextkingdom.net. More articles will be dropping soon. We're adding some new writers right now. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. SoundCloud, Next Kingdom Radio, and new Twitter, Next Kingdom Radio on Twitter. Chubbs is cooking up on Twitter. Going to be all your music updates. Appreciate you guys, man. We'll be back.